Ashen here. I'm an extrasensory completion process and parts work facilitator, hypnotherapist, and life coach. And today we are going to spice it up with diving deep into figuring out how come you are missing out in your human connections. And we are going to debunk your illusions around human connections, why you're not meeting your needs with human connections currently. And the answer is the walls you put up. We can go through our life being like, I need people, I need more connections. How come people aren't coming to me? People are too hard to find. I'm lonely. Nobody likes me. It's so impossible to find people, etc., and an array of excuses. And one part of you feels like, I am so desperate for connection. I want connection. I need connection. It's a human thing. It's a human need. And there are these other layers within you that are like, nope, I don't need that. I don't want that in my life. Nope, please no. And the part of you that is going around each and every day being like, I need more connection. I'm like drowning for connection. I'm desperate for connection. Please give me more connection, is perceiving the world through this lens where it's like, oh, people aren't reciprocating and people aren't wanting to be my friend and people are unavailable and there's nowhere to meet people. Yet we're completely unaware of the walls that we put up that are taking responsibility for this paradigm that we're living in. I'm going to give you some examples so you can understand clearly. Let's say you are going to classes to meet people and you don't actually break the ice with anyone at those classes. You expect them to come up to you. You expect them to dive deeper with you. Or you're in there and you're like, nobody wants to talk to me. I can't speak to anybody here. Like you feel choked up, you feel incapable, you feel like, I can't move, I can't. And you desperately want to reach out to people and you just don't know who's going to reciprocate. You don't know who wants to. And so you end up not saying anything. And then when you do, you're like, hi, and then you run away. And you're like, how are you? And then you run away. And again, you're not giving any opportunity for people to reciprocate. Another example could be you have these walls that deeply that believe that people don't like you, that connection is not going to happen with you, that you maybe don't even, parts of you that don't even want connection, parts of you that are like, no, that's a horrible idea. I don't have time for that. And we're going to talk about some of the deeper reasons why these walls come up. But let's say, again, you're going after people like, I'm going to create a connection with people. Yay! And when you actually get in there, you're coming at them in the way that is like, so maybe it's all over the place. Maybe it's making them feel uncomfortable. Maybe it's like too much about you and not enough about them. Maybe you're going too far too fast. Maybe you're just not reading the signs or being attuned to that person. But it's like, this is an example where you're making the effort, but you're making the effort from a way that is unattuned from those walls that don't actually let connection in, that don't actually receive connection, that don't actually want to give connection. And the part of you that is like, oh yeah, I want connection so badly, is going in there and talking to that person. And the parts of you with these walls are completely sabotaging the experience and tearing it down. And then you're like, oh, why didn't they reciprocate? And then you're like, okay, on to the next person. Clearly that person doesn't like me. And then you leave with your tail in between your legs. All humans have these walls, these layers within us that are protector personalities that are designed to keep people from hurting us, essentially, to keep connection away, because these parts have developed at a time in your foundational experience where relationships felt like a threat, where connection felt like a threat, and we developed this self-concept about ourselves, and we made things mean certain things about ourselves, and we developed a concept around our ability to have relationships and what relationships would do for us or not do for us. And so maybe we are giving people the impression that we are unopen to receive their connection. Maybe we have a hard face or an angry face or a sad face, or like people aren't sure what to do with our energy. And we can be amazing human beings, but we may be pushing people away, and we're probably very unconscious of it from these walls or these layers. So these walls within us are designed and have been designed as a strategy to keep us safe, to keep our vulnerability safe. And some reasons for this could be we associate relationships and connections with abandonment. Okay, I'm gonna let them in and then they're gonna leave. We may associate relationships with an inability to trust people. And so, okay, anything good that they give me is not to be trusted, and so I can't invest my energy here. We may carry around a wall or a layer that says we're unlikable or unworthy or not enough or carries shame. We may have a wall that is terrified of rejection, that is terrified of pain, that is terrified of discomfort, that is terrified of being abused, quite frankly. Where we've had past experiences maybe of being outright physically, mentally, and emotionally abused. And people that have these past experiences, it is extremely hard to let new people in when we have been shamed, when we have been abused, when we have been abandoned, when people have given us every reason not to trust them in our past and in the foundation of our upbringing and any trauma that may have happened to us throughout our lives that carries around this signature and this information in our nervous system, in our emotional body, that people are unsafe, they're scary. And so our survival mechanism is like, well, it makes more sense for survival purposes to stay away from people altogether and keep them out and push them away. And of course you're going to be feeling like that if your past experiences have been that way. And it's not at all wrong to have these pain inside you pushing people away. But if we really do want connection, if there's a part of us that we're aware that we need more connection, we need people, whether it's friends, whether it's community, whether it's connecting with people deeper in a group class or going to your grocery store and talking to the people there, developing relationships with your neighbors, developing deeper relationships with friends, developing deeper relationships with family, with partners, with your dog groomer, whoever. We need people, and we absolutely need people outside our primary romantic relationships. And in fact, we build healthier romantic relationships and we build healthier family relationships when we give ourselves enough support, like sisters and brothers and this and that, outside of those primary relationships and outside of the primary relationship. Because when we're putting all of our energy and focus into the primary relationship, we're so attached to that person for survival, because it may have been survival at a time in your life to say that people are unsafe, like I'm gonna get abused and maybe I literally thought I was gonna die at one point. But it's as much desperation and starvation to the human system to not have our needs for connection met, to not feel tribe, to not feel containment with people, to not feel like you've got people that are in your reality with you. And it's also setting you up to be so thirsty, so dehydrated for connection, so to speak, that you can't think clearly. And it's not a life worth living, because our beyond evolution, beyond progression, beyond this strive to awaken to love or awaken to purpose. No matter what you do or accomplish or change in this life, no matter what you individually become aware of or what preferences define you, your individual self matters so much. But as individuals, life is about relationships. Life is about connection, and we need them in order to thrive. And it will send signals to our survival system that we're safe when we have those people. And so there's a lot of people that are unsafe on this planet. There's a lot of people that are flat out dangerous. Humans are not great at relationships, and they're learning how to have them. They're like babies when it comes to relationships. And we're all learning, and we all need to help each other do better, because we need relationships, and life is about relationships, and life is about connection and love at its core. Because no matter what you accomplish or do in this life, if you don't have people, it's not worthy of your life, because you have no one to experience it with. You have no one to celebrate it with. You have no one to learn from or build from. You have no one to hold at night. You have no one to open your heart to. Loneliness is tragic. It is tragic and it is a cruel reality. So the first step is we have to become radically aware of how we are responsible for pushing people away. What vibe we're giving up, maybe how we're unattuned, maybe the thoughts that tell us, oh, I can't meet people. Where am I going to meet people? This person has it so easy, or these people are so good at meeting people, or maybe if I was going to a school or a certain job or this or that, or I don't have time to meet people. We all have excuses, but the truth is that people are out there within a million different resources every day. You're probably interacting with them every day. And it's not even just meeting new people, it's also creating deeper intimacy and deeper connection with those already in your life, letting the walls down with the people already around you. So for example, if you're living with your family, or if you're living with a partner, or if you just spend a lot of time with a certain person, to take them into your reality on a deeper level, to receive them on a deeper level. You can check out my video on connection to learn more about this. I'm going to link it below.
The sun